look at all these recyclers. We have the recyclers, but we're taking out the trash. Ladies and gentle mages, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode with Man, and today we've got a juicer for you. We've got Phyrexian Perfection. That's right, we are marching towards Phyrexian Perfection. With this, we got a one-time boon with whenever you cast the next Phyrexian creature spell, you get a +1 counter and a death touch counter, and then we're going to draft a card. So let's take a look at what we can get. And what I like so much about this March toward Perfection is there's a lot of small creatures and there's a lot of big creatures. So there's a Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Obviously, it can come out as a 3 or a 7 drop. You have the Gargantua. You've got the Obliterator, which is very, very nice. And then you got all this other kind of stuff. So here's like a small Revoker. Here's another small card. And here's a Scourge with lifelink, so that could come in handy versus aggro. So a bunch of different stuff that you kind of got going on here for... So you have like a medley of things you can do, which is why we're not running a whole lot of big creatures here. So I have one Phyrexian Obliterator, I have one Shelly, and I have one Archfiend of the Dross, just because, I mean, it's mostly for flavor. But like I said, with the March toward Perfection, you're going to be able to grab your big things with just like this. So I think it's a little bit overkill to run a ton of like the bigger things. So that's why we're just a very, very aggro deck. But let's go into the Alchemy cards here. We got the Gixian Recycler. Whenever this thing, it's just a 3/1. Whenever it dies, you get to conjure a copy of it into your graveyard. So, and then you get to unearth for 2. So whenever this thing dies, you get 2 instances of this thing. You can so you have 4 mana. You have 2 3/1s with haste. Yeah, they get killed because it's unearthed, but in an aggro deck, it's so freaking good. You got the Grafted Butcher, obviously pumping up your squad here. You got the Battlefly Swarm. If you know, I'm a huge fan of this thing. With March toward Perfection, you can buff these things up. You can get these little babies, little +1/+1s. The Evolved Sleeper can become higher with base power. And it is base power, not a +1/+1 counter, so like, there's just unlimited things you can do with the March toward Perfection. Ichor Drinker, and let's go into the Phantasmal Extraction, which is absolutely phenomenal. A lot of pH, perfect Phyrexian Phantasmal. If you kind of notice here, if you want the starting player, the spell costs 1 less to cast, and then you're going to be able to target opponent and reveal each downline card in their hand with mana value 4 less, and that's perfect because the One Ring costs 4, and I hate the One Ring. The One Ring just shuts off the game, so this can extract the One Ring, and you're just out of luck. Sheoldred's Assimilator. Now, I absolutely love this. I got the Assimilator and the Obliterator. Why do I love the Assimilator? Because you can grab things from... This is actually really relevant. So whenever you enter the battlefield or attack, you're going to exile up to 1 card from a graveyard. If a card is exiled this way, you can conjure a duplicate of that card into the top 5 cards of your library at random. It is a little clunky and a little slow, but if you have like a go for the throat and you're facing like a really creature-heavy battle, you go for the throat, and then eventually you will be able to grab onto it. Or you can just do it on your March toward Perfection. So you can use March toward Perfection, grab a Flesh Gorger, grab an Obliterator. So you never really run out of steam. And then we have the Gix, obviously you're drawing cards. So again, you just never really run out of steam. It's like an aggro deck. It plays very, very well. I love this little Alchemy card. It isn't uncommon as well, just so it doesn't hurt your wallet as much if you already don't want to run the Recycler or the Assimilator. But we are, and this is Phyrexian Perfection. Let's see if we can march on to Perfection. Go ahead and leave me a like. The button looks just like this, just like that. Helps out the channel tremendously. Consider joining the channel. I would greatly appreciate that, and you would be help supporting me as a content creator. Go ahead and subscribe if you have not already, and without further ado, let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. Maniac Killer, how you doing here? All right, so let's see how big of a maniac you are. What are you running here? Let's go ahead and drop our Evolved Sleeper, and then we can go ahead and march toward our perfect Phyrexian victory. Even though those are both P's, they don't really hit as alliteration. Phyrexian is more of an F sound, but Delighted Halfling. I'm delighted to see that green has a mana dork on turn 1, because I think that's what green needs, especially in standard right now. That's what it needs. Green is so underwhelming. So let's go ahead and swing in here. Highly doubt they're going to make the mistake, unless you're. Let's see how big of a maniac you are, and kill your own creature. So down to 19 we go, and let's go for the Phantasmal Extraction. We do have to pay it for 2 because we are the starting player. But the Spineful Banditry, I don't really care about that little mite. That doesn't really matter. We don't run a whole lot of, well, don't think I run 1 artifact creature, but other than that, this Banditry, yeah, let's go and get rid of you. Sure. Big fan of that Extraction card, and because it does exile, that does matter in a lot of regards, and it is a 1 ring killer, which if you play Alchemy, you know the 1 ring is just absolutely terrifying because mana value 4 or lower, so we get to hit that nice and flush, and we're good to go. So let's see what we got for the Delighted Halfling. I don't think they have too much to offer here. Get a 2-drop at best. Okie dokie. And I think we're just gonna drop. Well, I think it comes down to, do we want to let's get our damage in first. Or do you just want to, yeah, let's just get our damage in first. I'm just trying to think, do I want to go for the March toward Perfection? I don't think so. I think we're just going to drop the Gix, even though it is semi-awkward, because we're not going to be able to drop the Gix to get the card draw, because we're going to swing in first. Obviously, they're most likely not going to, but if they want to block, I'd be very happy to pump up to a 2-2. And then we go for a March toward Perfection rather than drop the Gix. That seems fine to me, but because we do that, this is fine. Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor, and we're looking good. See what we're playing against. I'm assuming dinosaurs. I mean, it could be legends, though. I do see a lot of legends. And I don't think dinosaurs really run the might, unless it's some sort of tech. So, like, we'll see. What's the scariest thing that could drop, for 4? Dinos don't have a whole lot of 4, do they? I think there's that new uncommon. There's the Haywire Might. Okay, yeah, there's that new uncommon dino from Alchemy. Ironically enough, that does cost 4, and so I think it's really good. It's the card that gives you a Naturalize or a Stomp as soon as it comes out into the battlefield. It's got a 4/5, pretty good. Let's see if they'll use it. But I said I don't think this is going to be dinos. But all right, so now we gotta make a decision. I'm gonna go for the Grafted Butcher to give ourselves a menace. And now this Evolved Sleeper, we can't make it a Phyrexian unless we pump 3 into it. So unfortunately, we're just going to be kind of out of luck on there. So if we go for this Evolved Sleeper, they could double block. So that kind of sucks. I'm just going to go and swing with this. Yeah, the Evolved Sleeper does not become a Phyrexian until you pump 3 mana into it. And then it becomes a 3/3. But it's just a little regular human. We need Phyrexians. Maybe I should have even gone for March toward Perfection first, but then I give the counter to the Grafted Butcher, and there is a possibility I want the March to Perfection on something else, so there we go. Oh, okay, so now we have the Recycler. I'm going to go for the Recycler. We're going to go for Plan B and pivot off the March toward Perfection and go in for this. I know that they have the Haywire Might. I obviously understand that, but the Recycler has 2 instances of Unearth, so we can get a copy and itself to Unearth and give it haste, so really, really good aggro card. I know that it sucks because the Haywire Might, but it's more mana efficient, and I just feel like it's still the best play, regardless of this crappy might. Let's see what you got here. I mean, if you do drop something crazy, I'm a little bit nervous. Like a Bonehorde Dragosaur right now for 5. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Victory of the Pyro Hammer. Okay, so just they're going to swipe the board. Okay, interesting. And that's also going to hit the board. They do lose their stuff here. So the thing is, with the, they're going to what, hit... What does this thing do? That thing hits for 1 damage another turn. So if we could snag the Phyrexian Obliterator... No way! There we go! Phyrexian Obliterator. Okay, there we go. And we have just enough mana to cast it. Let's go. Phyrexian Obliterator. We are marching with the Obliterator. And the Victory of the Pyro Hammer is going to hit 1. And they are not going to like that. They give us a nice... Exactly. Let's go. That's a nice little combo there. They deal 1 damage to the whole board. Obliterator says, I don't think so. I'm sure they're just going to sacrifice their own Victory of the Pyro Hammer, but it's still kind of cool to see. Maybe they had some other combo with it that we kind of stifled, so that's kind of nice. And we get another March toward Perfection. I really, really like this, so. Because they have... Let's just get a little aggro. I don't think the Ichor Drinker is that great right now. We can do that on the last turn. I'm going to go for double Recycler here, and then go for March toward Perfection. Let's swing in. I think they're going to take this all. They're going to take 12 damage here, because they're not going to trade the Hulking Raptor, and they're definitely not going to block the Obliterator, and they're not going to get rid of one of these Recyclers, so let's just get our damage in before they drop something else. I think the double Recycler is better than going in for like a Drinker and then the Samurai here. So March of Perfect, yeah, let's just take the Flesh Gorger. I mean, we could grab the Chronicler. They're not really, yeah, I don't think that's that good. Let's just do this. Let's just grab the Flesh Gorger. Easiest thing. And if we do draw into a land, we can go for Drinker and then go for Butcher, potentially. Sacrifice it and then Incubate. Just try to set up for the Flesh Gorger. Because I do kind of want to drop the Flesh Gorger if possible. But this is looking like another Obliterator time where like we're just going to drop the Obliterator and we're just going to be good to go. Because they're not going to be able to block this thing. And they can't fight it. They can't deal damage to it. And within these colors of Gruul, what are they going to do? They can deal damage to it. They can fight it. But they have 5 life and I have 6 damage. Like, Obliterator is just gonna obliterate Gruul and mono red. Like these are the worst colors for them too. Nissa, that's not gonna swing the game, so they're just gonna go for +1. Yeah, that does not matter because we're just gonna swing in. Like I said, they're just gonna have to sacrifice like 6 permanents and 1, 2, 3. They only have 7. I can't 4 plus 3. And this game is over. This game's over. I think we could just drop the Grafted Butcher and then go for Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. But I'm feeling a little bit quirky here. Let's just drop the Drinker and just do our cool little graveyard move with the Butcher. Sacrifice the Drinker. Give it Menace. Give our Obliterator Menace as if it wasn't naturally a menace enough. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. And swing in. 7/7 right to your face. Obviously, even if they do block it, they're going to have to double block it. And they're going to sacrifice just 11 permanents. So you'll be in permanent debt to me from Obliterator. They're out tapped out. Obviously, that is a good game. But this Obliterator is just, man, the March, grabbing it does seem pretty good, especially because we do have like the draft book, and you can just kind of snag whatever you want. But this game is absolutely over. And they're going to go ahead and double block. Well, hey, they give us a good game. They know it's over. Let's go ahead and do this. And, yep. And they, oh, it's kind of a, okay, there's a weird glitch where they concede, but -2. Okay. Bissiani, how we doing here? Looking pretty good. Evolved Sleeper in the Ichor Drinker. I think this Ichor Drinker thing is pretty underrated overall. And then we got the Assimilator, which is our first Alchemy card. So hopefully we can make use of it. Stone of Irich. Okay. So yeah, there are definitely there's a few cards that I haven't played a whole lot with. I think this is kind of one of them. If a creature would die, they just get exiled instead, and you can kind of bop it for a card draw. So okay. See if we can drink the blood. Got some mono green. I have not seen a whole lot of mono green in Alchemy, so let's see if we can do this. I think let's just go ahead and get our damage in. And this march toward perfection, this is kind of really what I want to focus on here. I know I'm not going to go for the Assimilator. The Assimilator is kind of nice here, but let's go for march toward perfection and just see what we can get. I think this card has a lot of potential. There we go. Phyrexian Obliterator. I don't even have to think twice about the other things. I'm taking a Phyrexian Obliterator. Free Obliterator seems good to me. The next turn, I mean, we're going to go for the Assimilator, and then turn 4, go for the Obliterator. That seems pretty good. But now this Phyrexian does put a little bit of a kink in our plans. I mean, how else are we going to get rid of it? I think I might swing. Let's go ahead and swing with the Sleeper here. And, yeah, they might block, and then we'll just give it Death Touch. We do have to tap out for it, which is not really ideal, but I think I'm okay with it. This way we get rid of the Phyrexian. Okay, so mono green, though. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. Looks like they are going in for it. That's fine. Let's go ahead and pump this thing up to a 2/2 and give it Death Touch so that we both go bye-bye. I think I'm okay with it. I think we're going to have to be okay with it. Because the thing with mono green, they're not going to be able to hang around with the Phyrexian Obliterator. Like, they're just not. Ren. Alright, Ren and Stippy, hello. And fight!
We haven't much time.
Alright, let's see if you can break the realms here. Because, again, though, I mean, mono green has such a bad matchup versus the Obliterator here. So permanent back into your hand, and they took a land instead of the Phyrexian or the big hammer skull, which is kind of interesting. Because why would you not? I mean, like, okay. I guess they don't know that we're packing this super awesome Phyrexian Obliterator, and it actually is the new art. I actually have played it with the, I don't think I have any of the new art, but from Alchemy, we're just getting the new art, so it feels good. And let's go 6/6, and then it does have Death Touch, which is kind of funny just because it doesn't really matter, but it's now it's a +1. It got a +1/+1 counter on it, so. Looks like we are marching towards victory. So Hulking Raptor. But here's the thing. With the Obliterator, they're going to have a bunch of creatures. I'm just going to swing in like a maniac. They're not going to be able to block. Because obviously they just can't sacrifice all their stuff. So they just make this land. I mean, the land doesn't untap. So it's kind of redundant. I'm not really sure why they're doing that. So now we got to make a decision. Do we want to swing in onto Ren? And I think I probably am. It's really close, though. We could go for the face. I think I'm gonna find an attack on Ren to be a little more fruitful, but it is very, very close. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, let's just get rid of the Ren. Ren and Stimpy, go bye-bye. Sorry, Ren. Okay, now we're gonna grab the Assimilator. And the thing that I like about the Assimilator, I think the March is like the perfect thing to snag with it. So now we go into our own graveyard. Now we're gonna be able to conjure a random, not random, but we're gonna conjure the March on the top 5 cards of our deck at random. Does that make any sense? Okay. Hulking Raptor. Let's see if they want to play something big here. But again, I'm not really that scared. This Phyrexian Obliterator is just going to be the biggest problem for them. I know it is. And even if not, we have the Swarm. This little Battlefly Swarm and the Evolved Sleeper can all get Death Touch. So double Raptors, not that big of a deal though. I'm not really sweating. They're going to be able to drop something crazy. I'm just trying to think of what's like the craziest thing they could play with like just a bunch of mana and Alchemy and Mono Green. I don't know. I guess maybe we're in for a surprise. But now we can just start swinging into the Phyrexian Obliterator in their face. So the Admirer. Ward 2, I've seen this thing before. This has Ward 2. And then you can just put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it's pretty underwhelming if you ask me. Okie dokie. Even if we do flood out here and draw another land, which we do, it's okay because we have the Evolved Sleeper. So we are just, again, we're still marching toward a Phyrexian victory here. And I'm just trying to think. I think I am going to swing in with the Assimilator. Because it has Menace, so they'd have to give up one of the Raptors if they're going to block. Because it has Menace. And Obliterator is getting in. I think we're going to keep back the Swarm. Let's do this. Submit 0, and we'll be on our way. I guess we could probably get rid of something in their graveyard just for kicks, but it's not essential. And let's see if they want to do that. But no, that's not going to work because it has Menace. So you're going to have to lose one of your little Raptors there. Probably not going to. They're going to let this go and take 9 damage to the face, which is fine with me. And then we can go in for the Evolved Sleeper. I think there's really no point. We might as well wait. I may, just in case they drop like a Tyrannix, I think I have the Battlefly Swarm that can just kind of pop for Death Touch. So we'll go ahead and wait before we tap out for the Evolved Sleeper. Here we go. That's not a big deal. Exile my graveyard. I don't have a graveyard, so I do not care at 1 iota. But they do have 7 green sources here, so let's see if they can make use of it. Oh, another stone. Well, that's, I'd say it's been the first, but we are not, I could care less about my graveyard for the most part. Unless I get the Recycler. The Recycler is now a no-show this match, so do not care about the graveyard hate 1 iota. Battlefly Swarm can take care of anything that you put out, and so can the Evolved Sleeper. It's a little bit more expensive than just 1 black. It'd be 3. Cosmic Hunger. Okay, I know they're not trying to fight the Obliterator, so the Assimilator is going to have to take the L. Oh, actually not even fight, it's just dealing damage. Okay. See, that the Phyrexian March actually did come in handy, though, because now that we're a 6/6, we're not a 5/5, and the Hulking Raptor can't take it out. So that March, I mean, the March really is swinging this matchup right now. All right, so let's go ahead and tap out for the Evolved Sleeper. I love drawing cards. And more land. That's okay. We can actually just now... Oh, God, we are flooding out, but that's okay. Now we can just kind of, I mean, at will. At will, we can just tap 3, draw a card, +1/+1 counter, and there is our march toward perfection that the Assimilator gave. And let's go ahead and do this. There you go. God, we got the Exarch, or you got the Gargantua, or the Flesh Gorger. I think, I mean, the Flesh Gorger is probably the most fun, but the other cards are new. I mean, I haven't really played with those, but I think we're just going to go ahead and drop the Flesh Gorger. And let's go ahead and swing in. And actually, well, let's swing in first before I decide what I want to do here. I'm going to swing with the Obliterator. I don't really want to lose my Evolved Sleeper. Even if they could double block with a Raptor and one of these 1/1s. I don't think I want to do that. And plus, do you want to go for Flesh Gorger, or do I want to... Let's be fun. Let's do the fun thing. Let's drop the big Flesh Gorger. Maybe that comes back in to bite my butt, but again, with this Phyrexian Obliterator, I just don't see what they're going to be able to do. They pump this up. That is an expensive +1/+1 counter. They just paid 4 mana for a 1/1 counter, and that's just not going to get the job done. And like I said, with this Obliterator, they're going to have to block it at some point because this is lethal. So let's go ahead and do this for the Evolved Sleeper. This is now just like a draw engine, so that's nice. And I mean, look, like the Phyrexian Obliterator, well, let's just go ahead and slam this down. I want to make sure I get this puppy down hard casted as an 8/6 before we go in for lethal, just because we are marching toward perfection. The perfect Flesh Gorger. You hear the shriek, baby. All right, and yeah, let's go ahead and swing in here. I do have another Evolved Sleeper, so I think we're going to swing with the Evolved Sleeper at this point. I don't care. I just, we're actually playing a little bit, funsy, I guess you could say, but I don't really care. With this Obliterator, it just doesn't matter. Obliterator's going to come in. If they want to block it, they're going to have to sacrifice, best case scenario, Raptor, and then just, yeah, the 1/1, they're going to have to sacrifice 6 permanents. There's no way they can come back from that. So this match is essentially over. I'm pretty comfortable in calling it. Don't really see any other way Mono Green's going to be able to handle this big bad boy. And there it is. There's the concession. Let's go. Rasputin, how you doing here? All right, let's go ahead. We got 2 march toward perfection, so let's see if we can perfect. And ooh, with the with the Archfiend. I'm gonna go with this. I'm just feeling funky. Let's go for the Scourge here. Flying. Oh, okay. So I was gonna say, the reason why I'm doing this is because I think if we were going against aggro, this gives us the most upside. The Archfiend, we have other stuff that we can use, and plus we already run the Archfiend, so let's go for the Scourge. But before I do that, let's kind of maybe bait out some removal. Let's go for Recycler. Yeah, okay, we can go ahead and block this. And if they want to waste one of their like pump spells or removal spells, let's kind of just get the Recycler out there. I think Lifelink, especially being on the draw. Well, actually not on the draw. I don't know why I just said that. But being against aggressive, I think the Scourge and the Lifelink could be the matter of life and death. Quite literally. The Lifelink and death. So Swiftspear comes out to play. Gosh, it's tempting. Do I want to block? Obviously, if they have Monstrous Rage, yeah, that's... The problem with blocking Swiftspear is if they have the Monstrous Rage, they can use it on the Spear Guard. We take more damage, and then the Prowess kills us alone, but I'm still going to do it. They have Monstrous Rage. They never always have Monstrous... They always have Monstrous Rage. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, not a big deal. We can always bring these back with Unearthed, but this is more of an offensive card than a defensive card, being from the graveyard, so that's kind of unfortunate as well. And now we got to make a decision. Do I want to go for... Let's go for March Toward Perfection, and I think I'm just going to go for the cheapest thing. Let's go for... I think the Skull Dweller is probably going to win out. The Returner comes in tapped, which is just a nightmare, and we can't even play it this turn, so it's going to be no-go. The Revoker does not really matter, more versus control. I think it's just going to be the Skull Dweller. Yeah, let's take the Skull Dweller. It's the easiest thing, so... we want to make sure that I put the +1/+1 counter on the Scourge here, because of the lifelink, and let's pay the 2. This is a little bit wonky, but let's pay the 2 here. If they don't have removal, this lifelinker could be, you know, the kind of the life or death of us. And then we have the Grafted Butcher to kind of bust it up here. Busted buff. Hopefully we bust it up. Alright. Okay. Spear Guard. We do have the Death Toucher, so we can kind of use that. I know that they can, like, you know, obviously trample through. So, depending if they tap out or not, another Swiftspear, which is fine. And another Swiftspear. Okay. Another pump spell. Okay, that is great. We get a big break there. No, they missed their mana drop, so they're just rocking these Swiftspears. Now we get a chance to catch our breath. Now we're going to go for the Grafted Butcher, and this is wonderful. I'm going to hold up, go for the throat, and we're swinging in, and we are going to get some delicious lifelink. Absolutely love that. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, as long as and now that the Scourge is up to a 3/3, which typically it's a 1/1. Now that it's up to a 3/3, I mean, that's pretty gosh darn good. A Scoundrel comes out. This is not that threatening. We got this go for the throat in case they want to buff anything up. I think that was a major, major tempo swing when they just dropped those 2 Swiftspears. Whew, that's nice. Taking no damage from mono red on turn 2 is always beautiful. So this Phoenix Chick's a little bit of a catch-22. I mean, we can hold up the... I think it's still better to just... I think I'm going to still swing with the Scourge on the next turn, though. Because, I mean, if they don't swing with the Phoenix Chick, we're just sitting here looking stupid with the Scourge. So, I think let's go ahead and just kill a Spear Guard. I know they obviously get a 1/1 Rat, but I don't like the trample. I just don't like the trample. If they've got, like, Blazing Crescendo or something crazy, I would rather just do this. And because we have no other play here, I think we're going to keep up the Recycler, but we got to get that lifelink off. The Phoenix Chick attacking, they're just not going to attack, and then we're just going to not get our lifelink, so we're better off attacking. Spell Spear. Okay, this is a little bit... Anything with trample, I'm a little bit nervous for, but they are tapped out. That's really good. Like I said, it's always super nice whenever they're tapped out. And now we got a Sheoldred. I think this is probably going to be it. Let's go. 20, and now we just do this. We could have gone for 1 Recycler and swung in. I guess we probably should have, but... yeah, I think Sheoldred's just going to take over the game. We are at 20 life, and I don't care how big you pump up the Spell Spear. I think we're probably looking good here. Death Touch, Flying, Lifelink. I guess I'm just worried about abusing the Lifelink. And let's see. So they have another Monstrous Rage. I'm going to do this. Let's block you. We have Death Touch on you. And I'm going to block the Scoundrel here. I don't really want to put my... I think we can be really conservative. We don't have to really make aggressive blocks on the Swiftspears. I don't think we have to. We're at 20 life, so... Oh, there's a Crescendo. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. We're not going to take nearly enough to be worried. We're down to 10, but again, we have lethal on the back end. We actually don't even care. And let's go for the double Recycler. Let's recycle Mono Red. And because Mono Red has just been recycled by other users, and we don't even get to swing in on them. Ooh. Reynos 23, double recyclers. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. The recycler, again, more of an offensive card than a defensive card, but is that going to be a Zord? Oh, no, probably more not control. Most likely, well, not most likely, going to be the soldiers, but that's okay. Hopefully we can get this recycling stuff going and take out the garbage. Evolved Sleeper's looking pretty good. I am a big fan of the Battlefly Swarm, so nothing. I'm assuming it's going to be the Resolute thingy. So let's go ahead and swing in. If they do, I think we can make this move, especially because we have the Battlefly Swarm. I'm expecting the flat. Well, they didn't do it. I guess if they wanted to block, they would do it now. Okay, so there's the Resolute reinforcements. There we go. Yeah. Well, oh, they actually flashed in before they declared blockers, so that's fine. Let's go for the Recycler, and the Recycler kind of sucks in this regard because of the 1/1s, but we can use the Grafted Butcher to boost us up, and then we have Menace. That looks pretty good. Let's see what we got here. First strike. So yeah, with the first strike, we're definitely gonna have to use the Butcher to increase the likelihood that we can get in. And they're swinging in, which is a little bit sus, because I mean, you think you're gonna win a race? I don't know. Maybe. We do have the Archfiend of the Dross. So we got the Archfiend for later, but right now, I don't like this first strike. I think. Do we want to be aggressive or do we want to set up? It's either we're going for the Grafted Butcher and the Swarm, or we're going for the Recycler and the Swarm. And I think we're gonna strike some fear into their heart. We are Phyrexians after all. And well, actually, the Evolved Sleeper's not yet anyway. But I want to get in with this Recycler, because the first strike is really gonna ward off our thingy here. Okay, Zephyr Sentinel. Bring back the Resolute reinforcements, which makes sense. Big fan of alliteration on this page, by the way, so Resolute reinforcements gets a pass for me. And they're gonna swing it. That's a little bit weird. They have first strike, but not double strike, so I don't know why they're doing that. Yeah, as I'll say, that makes no sense. I'm just gonna pump my Evolved Sleeper, and that's gonna be Nighty Night. This is okay with me. I mean, this is okay. We can double block this, double take this out. This is fine. That's completely fine. First strike, we get around that. And we get a 2-for-1 here. I think I'm okay with that. I can live and die by that. And then we get to drop a Battlefly Swarm. We get 2 Recyclers into the grave. Yeah, this is fine. This is fun. Battlefly Swarm. Big. I love this Battlefly Swarm so much, man. It's a 2/2 flyer with the Butcher. It gets Death Touch. Nobody's playing it. Nobody. Alright, let's see what you got for me. Elspeth's Command. So they're going to go for Command. If they don't drop a land here, they're not going to be able to go in for the Resolute reinforcements. So that's interesting. I'm assuming they will, because otherwise it seems a little weird to not be more mana efficient. And they don't. So, okay, that's interesting. Well, they only have one blue source open here, so I think we're just going to drop the Archfiend here. Yeah. That's a 7/7. So, yeah, I'm going to swing all. Not swing all. We're not gonna swing with the Evolved Sleeper. I thought I had another swamp open because I'm silly. Don't listen to me. Yeah, we'll trade this. This is fine. This is fine. They can't go for any Zephyrs or Sentinels or anything like that. Just one. Got no Fading Hope. Fading Hope is not legal in Alchemy. And I want to get the 2 damage off here from the Dross. So this is pretty good. Yeah. We've got some Graveyard Recursion. Like, we're looking okay here. Elspeth's Command. They're not going to be able to give anything else flying. And the Archfiend of the Dross is going to fly right in over their heads. Hopefully. Got the reinforcements. Yeah, they're just going to create a little 1/1 because they can't pick the thing that they picked last time. So they're just going to a little 1/1. I'm okay with that. That's pretty underwhelming to me. We do lose an oil counter on the Dross, but that's okay. That's fine. Ooh, okay. So now we got the Phantasmal Extraction. Okay, how do we want to play this? I think we're just going to go for the Extraction here. This is the most relevant this card's going to be. And if they want to flash in the Resolute reinforcements out of panic, that is going to be what we do here. So let's see what we can extract from our lovely opponents. If they're there, let's see what we can extract. Oh, okay. Well, 3 Resolute reinforcements. Okay. All right. Well, we'll take one of the Resolute reinforcements. That works. I'm just trying to think of what we want to do here. They're obviously just going to flash these in. I don't really want to go for the Recyclers then, though. Don't really want to go for the Recyclers if they're just going to flash these things in. So, obviously being with the 1 toughness doesn't really bode too well for us. I think we're just going to swing in here. Yep, we're going to go for this. And I'm definitely going to go for a double pump of the Evolved Sleeper if they do decide to like double or triple block. We'll see what they do. I think I'm okay with this. I mean, they're almost out of resources entirely, and when they lose light, or whenever they lose these 1/1s, yeah, so they're gonna double or triple block. Triple? Okay, triple block. I have absolutely no problem with this. We're gonna take the Evolved Sleeper, just pump it up to 3. We're gonna trade. They're gonna lose 3 creatures, and the Dross is gonna take 6 life from them, and then we take 7 in the air. I mean, I think we're looking really, really good here. Evolved Sleeper, ba-boom, ba-bam. Yep. Absolute trade, take that, go down to 7, and they are going to get 3 triggers from our lovely Archfiend here. And they're down to 1. You're not going to win a race. They challenged us to a race earlier in the match, and I think they're regretting it a little bit now. Harbin, I don't think that matters. They have to chump block, worst case scenario, and then the Dross is just going to finish them off. We've got 2 Recyclers into the graveyard. Look at all of these... Elspeth's command. Oh, no, that's no big deal. Look at all these Recyclers. We have the Recyclers, but we're taking out the trash. Yep, this is fine. This game's absolutely over. I think we can just kind of have some fun with it now. So they don't have any hand or anything like that. Let's go for the Recycler. I think let's be a little quirky. Let's go for Recycler number 1. Let's go for March Toward Perfection so that this next Recycler, with haste of course, is going to have an extra counter. And there's our lovely Obliterator. Is this random? Are the drafts random? Because I feel like the Phyrexian Obliterator has been there every single time. Not that I'm complaining, but like, is it supposed to be random? Not complaining. We take the dub, and that's it. Arn Kettle, how we doing here? How we doing here? Looks good to me. I mean, we got a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. We're looking absolutely phenomenal. Let's give them the friendly mulligan hello. Oh, is that a double mulligan? Ooh. I mean, everybody needs a friend when you take a mulligan. So we give them the friendly mulligan hello. Hopefully that works out for us. But we have the Phyrexian Obliterator, and we have the other art this time. So we are on the play with a pretty damn good curve out hand here. And they took a double mulligan, so if we lose this one, I'll give you all the props in the world. So Whisper of the Dross, okay, this is going to be, so this is obviously going to be Toxic. Because Toxic is really the only thing that's going to be running that proliferate nonsense, so, okay. Siphoner, alright, not a big deal here. Yeah, this is fine. Let's just keep up with the plan. Let's go for the Gix here, and we're just swinging in. And I don't care. This is actually nice, because if they're going for Toxic, they're going to go for poison counters. I don't care about my life. So we can just use all of the life for Gix, and then just, yeah, that's absolutely fine with me. So let's see if they, like, proliferate or something. We're definitely just all-out racing here. But, again, it's very, very nice if they don't kill the... Okay, well, never mind. We are drowning in Ichor, so we don't have to worry about that any longer. But, yeah, let's just drop this Phyrexian Obliterator, and that's a 6/6 with the Butcher here. I think we're still going to outrace you. We do have 2 poison counters, a Skull Dweller. Okay, so the Skull Dweller is actually pretty efficient versus the Obliterator. They could, I was about to say, they could have that one card that deals damage, and because it has Death Touch, that's one way they could get around the Obliterator and then just sacrifice a creature here. So that's one way they could do it. But I'm just going to swing in. We have Go for the Throat in case something crazy happens. Yeah, this is fine. I'm actually, well, let's go ahead and just go for the Throat here. And then they have to sacrifice 1 creature, or 1 permanent rather, and they only have 2 lands. So, like, I think I'm okay with doing this. Like, I'm okay with swinging in. I mean, you have to sacrifice a land. They already have missed, what, 3 land drops, and now they've got to sacrifice a land here. Like, I'm okay with just taking that. Yeah, they have 1 land. And now let's go for the Evolved Sleeper, and then just go for the Recycler. I don't think they're going to be able to come back from this. Well, I want to say 17-3 or 17-9, but it's more like 3 poison counters to 9 life. But I don't think it's going to matter. Cat or not, you got 9 lives, and we're taking all of them eventually. And that's going to be it. GG's Toxic.